Hey y'all, I'm back. Because just like Foodie Beauty and her regular sized portion of meat pies, I somehow still haven't had enough yet. Today we're going to take a look at Chantal's latest Middle Eastern food mukbang, showing us that there's more to it than just chicken and rice. Before I dive into the video itself, I do want to go over the thumbnail a bit. Here we have Chantal looking like a little kid who just got busted playing with matches. Certainly a choice for our face card queen. We are promised a Pringles related story, apparently. I haven't watched this yet, but I'm sure she'll do a terrible job of telling it as always. Ketchup is involved for some reason. I can't wait to see how that plays out. And we have some cool Tumblr kid slang from 10 years ago telling us that this was a small portion. The disappointment is already palpable, so let's get started.
Hi there! Hop, hop, hop your way to request a cameo and don't delay, because right now for the next 3 days, cameos are 20% off. You can request a happy birthday, a special Easter bunny message, a song, advice, or just a shout out. Who knows what they will be worth when I'm more famous than Jenna Ortega.
Okay, so I guess we're doing Easter rabbit style Easter themed cameo nonsense. Okay. Sure. Why not?
This is the moment a woman and her partner were escorted off a Ryanair plane by police after their card was unable to process a £7 transaction for onboard snacks.
Hi guys! Well, today I have something, you might be like, that's all you're gonna eat? Okay, I was surprised by the portion as well.
I'm sure you were.
For the price, but it's basically... Do you remember how you used to eat those Jamaican meat patties? This is Arabic style meat patty, I guess. It's from an Egyptian restaurant. Bismillah.
All right, so this is definitely a normal to large portion of takeout. I don't know what's shocking about it. I guess it's the normal to large as opposed to serving platter sized portion here. By Foodie Beauty mukbang terms, it's certainly on the small side, as she put it, but it's perfectly reasonable. So once again, clearly just disappointed in a pretty normal to generous portion of food. All right, carry on.
And this is their whiskey salad. I don't have a spoon.
Sure, why not?
Look at all the dill. That's all the juice from all the vegetables. They call it whiskey. All right, so.
Probably the first fact about the Middle East I've ever learned from her. That is a piddly portion of whatever that is, but, you know, it's probably just a little like a freebie on the side, like a pickle, you know, not a salad, as she put it. Though this is, as she put it, small. And like I said, it's not normal small, but it is Foodie Beauty mukbang small. It also looks pretty greasy and rich and very meat and carb heavy. So I don't see what the problem is, but, you know, it's Chantal. I feel like she's been eating a lot of Egyptian food lately. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Maybe there's something to it.
All right. Looks like there's beef inside. Let's try it.
All right, I'll be honest. When I saw the ketchup, I did a quick Google because I wasn't familiar with any Middle Eastern food that's eaten with ketchup. Maybe it's a fast food thing there that I'm not aware of, but it's not something I've encountered like going to Middle Eastern restaurants and food stalls and things in the US. So I don't know. I kind of Googled around to try to see if I could figure anything out. I didn't. So let me know if you've heard of eating this with ketchup or if this is just Chantal being Chantal. Because I'm really curious if this is kind of a thing or if, you know, she just needs ketchup to get it down because she's Chantal. I really think I'm 50-50. I really could see it go either way because I know there's a lot of odd little things in street food that will pop up like that for sure. I've seen some very interesting condiment choices eating international food that you wouldn't expect. So it could be a thing, but it could also just be her being the way she is. And I'm really torn. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Oh, she doesn't know what she thinks, though.
The flavor is really good, but like,
But I don't know how you would begin to assess the flavor with the ketchup. I don't know. I'm so anti-ketchup at this
I'm
point.
so hungry.
Maybe
so.
on a French fry.
Hearing weird things. I didn't put my makeup on yet today. You want to hear something stupid I saw today? No? Well, you're here, so you're gonna listen.
Great.
Man, tough breads like this make my jaw go haywire. For those of you who are wondering what the clicking noise is, I have something with my jaw. I've had my whole life. It doesn't hurt. I went to a doctor once. He said to fix it. If it doesn't hurt, to leave it, because to fix it, they would have to like dislocate like my whole jaw. Doesn't hurt. I know it's cringe, but
Yeah, we have all been listening to it for years. We know. There's 1/3 of the meat pie down. We are 4 minutes in. That includes the cameo ad time.
you guys know about Ryanair. It's a budget airline.
Licking.
It's cheap. It's a no frills airline.
Why do you need more ketchup?
What makes it
I
so
feel
cheap
like
is
this
you have
meal
to
was
pay
cheap.
for, like, extras. So like when I torts, yeah, it's really good. But with budget airlines,
How would you know? You're covering it in ketchup.
they make you pay for everything on board. Extra luggage, everything. That's why it's cheap. Snacks, whatever. So they have like an online store. You know, you can pay with your debit, your credit, whatever. I don't think they take cash. Sunwing is like that also. When I went to Cuba,
Oh, we're talking about Cuba now. Do you really want to bring that up? Eat your Egyptian food and talk about going to Cuba.
saw-
Great.
on the news, TikTok news, a video
Again,
this
with the
British
I get my
couple,
news from
elderly
TikTok, of
British
course.
couple, who were escorted off of the plane. Like the staff of Ryanair called the cops on this elderly couple. They were escorted off the plane because they ordered
7 minutes in, 2/3 down, plus a little.
9 British pounds worth of snacks, and their card was declining. And they didn't understand why. They tried it like 5 times. They offered to pay with cash.
Oh, those meat pies are almost gone.
Thieves! They ordered like a water, a soda, and a can of Pringles.
Good day, ma'am.
You didn't quite pay for those bloody Pringles, now did you? Well, no, but... Hands behind your back, bloody hell.
Okay, I feel like a lot
And
of
you're
things
saying
probably
their fees,
happened
not-
in between you didn't pay for those Pringles because your card was declined and you're under arrest. I don't know. I haven't looked at this. I don't get my news from TikTok, and I haven't looked at this in the news. So, who knows? But I feel like she's leaving some stuff out.
£9 for 3 of those crappy little items?
That sounds about right for an airline, to be honest. You fly enough, you should know.
Where are you going, camera? Get back here.
Oh, the camera's
Anyway, I'm
done.
gonna
It's
be
trying to
hungry in 20
escape.
minutes. Like, this is
It's
absurd.
out. Get me out of here.
So-
I'll just leave it. Just leave it. It's fine. Fine.
Is that a fly or my hijab?
Oh, for God's sakes. The fact that you have to question.
Like, I'm sorry. That's ridiculous, man.
What's ridiculous? The arrest, the price, the meat all over your mukbang table, just chilling. We gonna leave that there? Or we gonna clean it up?
Ryanair
Less than
needs
10
to give
minutes
that couple
in, including the
voucher
cameo
for some
ad, the
Pringles
meat
on
pies
board,
are
man,
totally
because-
decimated.
That's ridiculous. You should have just said that's okay. Or you can pay me in cash, or I don't know. But to call the police?
So they should have taken cash that they didn't accept and probably had no way to store, or just given it to them. I'm going to have to look into this because I feel like there's got to be something between that and calling the police that happened. I'm going to take a little intermission and look into it because I'm kind of curious now, and she's not giving me the details I need, of course. No surprise there. Find a couple articles, and of course it seems like there is a little more to this than what TikTok and Chantal are telling us. The wife ordered the Pringles, Coke, water. It was about $9. She claims she went to pay and the in-flight payment system wasn't taking her card, and the couple did not have enough cash to pay. This is the people.com article. The husband offered to pay for the snacks when they landed in Bristol. However, the flight crew reportedly declined this alternative and accused the couple of refusing to pay. The passengers alleged that the crew took their boarding passes and told them that the police would be waiting for them when they touched down in the UK. As promised, the police boarded the aircraft when it landed at Bristol Airport. A spokesperson from the airline said the crew of this flight called ahead for police assistance after a passenger and her companion failed to pay for their food and drinks on board, and as a result became disruptive towards crew and failed to follow reasonable crew requests. Murray claims that she wasn't disruptive, but was her husband perhaps? And that there were no raised voices, which doesn't mean that they necessarily weren't disruptive. You can say threatening things without necessarily raising your voice. Or, it could be something that you might not consider raising your voice or threatening, but that doesn't mean that somebody else doesn't see it that way. So clearly there's a little more going on than just they tried to pay, card was declined, and they got arrested. So just from the couple articles that I did read, I can't tell exactly what went on, but clearly there's a lot more to it than what Chantal saw in a TikTok and is now regurgitating for us here in front of her meat bespeckled mukbang tray. I wonder how long these little guys are going to hang out here. Let's bring those guys front and center so we can keep an eye on them.
Anyway, if you're wondering if I'm still hungry, yeah. Obviously, but anyway, yeah. So this is, I couldn't believe that. That's just so, it's so stingy and greedy of company. I don't know. No, that's the scam with the budget airlines. Sure, the fare is very cheap, but you got to be
2
wary.
down,
You gotta
1
know
out
how
of
to
3
crack the
left.
system. You got to make sure you're not bringing a lot of luggage. Or that happened to me when I was flying back from Cuba to Canada.
Oh, we're going to talk about Cuba now?
My card wasn't
After
working
our
in
Egyptian
Cuba,
meal?
and I was out of cash. So all I had was all this money on my card. I got on the plane, and
It's almost like she has a certain era of her life on her brain again. I don't know. Just speculation.
time I got on the plane, I was so thirsty and so hungry. Because it was a rough night the night before. You know, for those of you who know, you know. So
We know.
yeah,
And the night after was rough, and
slice of
the day
pizza.
was
It
rough.
was like $8.
The whole thing
And-
was rough.
and just soda, it was like $4.
A rough
it was
2,
expensive, but I didn't care.
3
I had all that money.
years.
I'm like, I'm gonna blow all this money. Was there a beef crumble
Oh,
in front of me? Get out of here.
Finally.
I'm gonna blow all this money on the plane. Yeah, but I mean, I feel like it declined. It was like an error on Ryanair's fault. Maybe their machine or something. I don't know. Anyway, the whole
Could
thing
be
is
anything.
just
Who
stupid, and I
knows?
had to vent about it.
You certainly don't. I do know that this is a 16-minute video, and at this point, I am 13 minutes in. What are you going to talk about for the next 3 minutes in front of your empty mukbang table?
So there you go. You're the ears that are hearing it, my venting. So you're welcome. Anyways, guys, that was a small little snack, I guess. I wouldn't call that a meal. I'd call that like a side dish or an appetizer, you know?
I guess we can go back down to normal size.
Potential. You know what I'm craving is like beef short ribs. Beef short ribs. But they're really expensive. They're like 9 KD for like half rack. So I'll pass. Like,
I'm sure. So I
don't
guess you're
know.
going to
That's
spend the
just-
rest of
that's
this
just for
talking
a
about the
meal,
food
you
that
know?
you wish you had along with your
That's
food.
why I kind of eat crappy, like, I don't know. It's so much cheaper, unfortunately, you know? Although we can get things like, you know, salad and chicken and that for very cheap, but I'm not going to eat that every single day.
We know.
You know what I mean? And most of the
Cheaper than all of it might just be groceries. You could just buy groceries and eat those. No? Okay, cool, whatever.
other meals that are really cheap come with rice, greens on the side. It's just, you know, yeah.
Yeah, we know the
So,
cheap meals, the $4
I don't know
meals
about
with
you.
the
I wouldn't spend
hubcap of
36
rice.
bucks
We
on a
all
half rack
know.
of beef ribs. Nope. Let me know in the comments below if you would. That's just crazy to me. I don't know. You can buy like a lot of grocery items for that. I don't know. Like it was like a phyllo type of pastry. And it was actually, the meat inside was actually really tasty. It tasted exactly to me like a meat pie. Like with the ketchup. So it was really good. But like the portion is like small for the price. It was like 1.5 KD for like 4 small little squares. So
That seems perfectly
worth it to me.
reasonable. That seems
know,
like
I'm
a
still
reasonable,
recovering,
if
so-
not generous, portion of meat
little-
pie for basically what, $5? Yeah, that's fine. It's you. This is just you and your warped perception of what things should look like and cost. You who barely leave your apartment except to get takeout. I seriously doubt that many people would have a problem with that price tag on that item. I don't know. That's just my opinion, I guess. Whatever.
tired as I'm healing, and like I'm on antibiotics, so you either keep up or you slip up.
Oh, wow.
Anyways,
Chantal dropping truth
thanks
bombs
for
out here.
Watching, guys. I love you guys.
Yeah, maybe take
And I'll
your
see
own
you in the next
advice.
video.
Keep up or
Foodie.
slip up. No? Okay. Well, that was disappointment from start to finish. You know, she tried her best to justify it. Oh, it tasted good with the ketchup. I mean, I'm sure it just tasted like fried something in ketchup at that point. Why even bother? Typical Chantal depression mukbang we've been getting lately. Clearly she's got some things on her mind. I don't know why she'd want to bring up Cuba rage right now, but here we are. Anyhow, I suggest anytime she tells a story, go look up the story and contrast it to her version of the story, because that's always fun. Anyhow, y'all have a good one, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
You watched it, didn't you?